All right, loan limits, why are they important to you, and what are some extra facts that maybe you might not know about loan limits as it applies to your home purchase? I'm Stephanie Johnston here with the Johnston team at Service First Mortgage, and we're going to talk about changes to these specific to FHA, conventional, and VA, and why this matters to you. Each year, around a little after Thanksgiving time, will get announced what the loan limits for given programs are for the following year. So the 2024 loan limits just announced for all different products. So the first one we're going to talk about is conventional financing. And when I mean conventional, that's a loan backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and it's where most of the lending applies. And when people talk about just a normal 30-year fixed mortgage that they're getting, they're generally referring to a conventional loan. Now, why that's important is once we go over that limit, you fall into what's called a jumbo mortgage. And jumbo financing, generally speaking, has higher down payment requirements, more stringent qualification. It currently has a little bit higher interest rates. That moves sometimes, but that's where it is currently. The more people that we can keep in this conventional loan limit, the better off that is for the real estate market, and it helps affordability, which is key to our markets. So for 2024, the conventional loan limits are gonna go to $766,550. That's an increase over the $726,200 that we had for 2023. We can actually originate and start closing those loans today. So great news, you can take advantage of that, go under contract, and even close before next year using those new loan limits. Another thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that the loan limits, there's ways to go over that and actually obtain a lot higher of a purchase price. So the first thought process, remember, this is a loan limit. So you can get something maybe in the lower 800s, just 5% down and still be within the limit. You can be upper 900s to $1 million with 20% down, still be within that loan limit. But the other piece that's sometimes missed is we have second mortgages where we can raise that even higher. So maybe someone's looking for a house over $1 million and doesn't want to put 20% down. We have options for that. So we put the first mortgage at that $766, and we can put a second mortgage behind that, keeping that consumer in that lower interest rate, different term qualification for conventional financing. So some great news there. Second option or product that we're gonna talk about is FHA. So FHA, a lot of people think is a first-time homebuyer product. It's actually not. You do not need to be a first-time homebuyer for FHA. Interest rates are actually, generally speaking, lower than conventional in FHA. Now there's reasons you would do one over the other, but a product we're using a lot more right now. And so as the loan limits have gone up for FHA, also again, open the door for more FHA buyers. And again, affordability, which is the name of the game and everything in real estate right now. The FHA loan limit, kind of two key factors you want to consider here. There's what's called the floor limit. And the floor limit means the lowest limit in the country for lending. So that limit is going up to $498, $250, up from $472, $30. So again, that's the lowest in the country. Then individual counties will have higher limits based on the median home price. So DFW or Dallas-Fort Worth is at $563,500, up from $531,300. So good sizable increase. And again, that's the loan amount, not the dollar, not the sales price. So you can go over that and just put however much down. FHA generally only requires a 3.5% down payment. So that's getting up there in that sales price, even with just 3.5% down. So a great option. Now on the FHA loan, you do have to assign what's called a case number after January 1st. So we can get a house under contract using these limits today. I can lock rates, I can do all of that. However, I have to wait until January 1st to get a number that's tied to the property to be able to order an appraisal. So we can get these closed in really early January, but we got to close them into January versus the conventional we can close in December ahead of the loan limit change. Other thing to kind of remember on both products are 2, 3, and 4 unit properties for FHA and for conventional have higher loan limits. So on a 2, 3, or 4 unit, they're gonna be increased above those loan limits if you're in that group. The other thing to kind of backtrack just a tad on conventional, the same thing where the FHA has some counties that are higher, there are high cost areas for conventional that are actually over that $776,000 across the United States. Those also in limits are gonna increase accordingly. Last product is, of course, is VA. And I think a lot of people, one thing they don't know is that VA actually doesn't have loan limits. And most institutions will go up to about $1.5 million and 100% financing. There's a couple other things with what we call entitlement and a little nuances in there. But we actually don't have to wait on loan limits for VA. They're always pretty high, and be able to do great financing to support and give back and thank our veterans for their service. So I hope, again, this information was helpful. Again, just wanted to provide a little bit of context for if you're seeing these loan limit posts, what's going on, just a little bit more context on this stuff as to why it pertains, some nuances, and how we can use these to best assist our clients, or if you're looking to purchase, and to, again, do everything we can to promote home affordability. So again, Stephanie Johnston here at the Johnston team at Service First Mortgage. Hope you're doing well. Reach out if you have any questions at all. Thank you.